press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to lecture number 6 of chemical bonding. In the last class we had gone through the concepts of Kosel's-Lewis calculation, Kosel and Lewis concepts in order to explain about the molecular structure of the compounds, and we had gone through the concepts of a formal charge. By using this formal charge, we are going to calculate the charge, the unit charge present on the particular atom in a molecule due to the unequal distribution of electrons or unequal distribution of bonded pair electrons, that can be calculated by this formal charge. There are some of the calculations to calculate the molecular structure by using this Lewis structure and followed by this formal charge. Okay, the very first one, it is calculate the total number of valence electrons. It can be calculated by using the total number of valence electrons of all the atoms in a molecule minus positive charge plus negative charge. Suppose if the molecule possesses the positive charge, means the total number of electrons, from the total number of electrons, those positive charges should be subtracted. If the molecule possesses the negative charge, means these negative charges should be added into the total number of valence electrons of the atoms. This is the first part. Second one, to calculate the lone pairs. How to calculate the lone pairs? Lone pair of electrons. This can be calculated by using this X total. X total means it is the total number of valence electrons present in a total molecule. Number of atoms are present in a molecule. By combining the valence electrons of all the atoms, we are getting this value X total. This X total, if it is subtracted by bonding pair electrons, bond pair of electrons andre enappa, the electrons which are involved in a bonding, if there is only one bond, means that equal to 2 electrons, bonding pair electrons. Okay, this is X total, means total number of valence electrons, followed by it is subtracted by the bond pair of electrons. Okay, this is how we can calculate the lone pair of electrons. After using this concept, so we are going to write the structure of the molecules there. While writing the structure of the molecules, so some of the atoms should get double bond, some of the atoms should get single bond. That means there is an unequal sharing of electron pairs or bonded pairs takes place while writing the molecular structure. In order to find the solution for that, for what reason that unequal sharing takes place, then after the unequal sharing of electrons, what is the structure of the molecule and what is the charge that particular atom can take place. If we can take an example of CO3 minus 2 molecule, here one oxygen atom, it carries double bond, another oxygen atom, it carries a single bond. Okay, here this oxygen atom which possess 4 bonding electrons, but this oxygen atom which possess 2 bonding electrons. ಇಲ್ಲಿ unequal sharing of electrons ಆಗಿದೆ, bonded pair electrons. ಇಲ್ಲಿ bonded pair electrons 4 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ bond pair electrons 2 ಇದೆ. In such cases, there is a chance of presence of a charge on a particular atom takes place. Okay, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, and that charge we can call it as a formal charge. Okay, how to calculate the formal charge? Formal charge for a particular atom is calculated by, how to calculate this? if you want to calculate the formal charge on this particular atom, we have to consider the valence electrons of this atom. It is represented by V, valence electrons, minus, we have to consider the number of lone pair of electrons present on this particular oxygen atom, that means lone pair of electrons, LP, minus how much bonds it is going to be formed. What is the number of bonds formed in between this oxygen atom, that is represented by bond pair, that should divided by 2, because these bond pair of electrons which are responsible for both the atoms, it is responsible for carbon atom also, and this is responsible for this oxygen atom also. Okay, by using these three formulas, we are going to write the molecular structure of different covalent compounds. Okay, then today we will move on to some of the other examples of based upon this Lewis and Possel's concept and formal charge concept. Okay, next one, you can take an example of so the next example, that is SO4 minus 2 molecule. SO4 minus 2 molecule, it is represented like this, SOOOO. Now we should calculate the total number of valence electrons of this particular molecule. How can we calculate the total number of valence electrons? By using this formula, X total is equal to total number of valence electrons of all the atoms. Here how many atoms are in total? In total we are having 5 atoms, 1 is sulfur and 4 oxygen atoms. 1 sulfur atom is there, followed by 4 oxygen atoms are there. Okay, next, how many valence electrons are there in sulfur? There are 6 valence electrons, followed by 4 into 6, that is oxygen also having 6 valence electrons. In total we are having 24 plus 6, 30 electrons plus 2. E 2 elinda bantu? Where does it 2 came from? This 2 is this 2. That means according to the formula, if it is a negative ion, if it is an anion, then to the total number of valence electrons we have to add those ions, those negative charges. That means these 2 charges are added to this. In total we are having 32 electrons now, 32 electrons. Okay, in which those 32 electrons, how much electrons belongs to lone pairs, that we can calculate. What is the formula to calculate the lone pair of electrons? Okay, we can calculate it by X total minus bond pair of electrons. Here, how many bonds are made by this sulfur? We have 4 bonds. Each bond carries 2 electrons. Each bond carries 2 electrons. That means 4 into 2, we have 8 electrons. In total, we have 8 electrons. Okay, X total means 32 electrons. Bonded pair electrons estidepa total 8 electrons ide. Eಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೆ total 24 electrons. Okay, now we are having 24 lone pair of electrons. As I already told in the last class that according to the rule, these lone pair of electrons, either they may utilized as a lone pairs or they utilized for the formation of a double or triple bond. They can either utilized as a lone pairs or they may utilized for the formation of a double and triple bond. Now, what is the next rule? We have to distribute these 24 electrons into the terminal atoms in order to get its stability. In order to make a terminal atoms to get octet configuration, we have to distribute these 24 electrons into terminal atoms. Okay, which are the terminal atoms here? 4 oxygen atoms are the terminal atoms here. Here each oxygen is having 2 electrons. That means they require 6 more electrons to get the octet. 6 electrons. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I have provided 6 electrons to this oxygen atom so that it can have 8 electrons now. 2 4 6 followed by 8. This oxygen get the octet now. This also same thing happened. I distribute 6 electrons to this oxygen atom. Here also 6 electrons, and this also 6 electrons. Okay, now the valency or the octet configuration of all the terminal atoms is satisfied now. But not only to satisfy this octet configuration of our terminal atoms, we need to satisfy the octet of a sulfur. According to the rule, sulfur or any atom you can take, the central atom, it must contains octet or extended octet also, and it should not less than 8 electrons. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಆಕ್ಟೇಟನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಆಕ್ಟೇಟನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 8 electrons. Here sulfur, it is already having 8 electrons because 4 bonds ಇದೆ, but valency of or covalency of sulfur is 6. It can exist with a maximum covalency ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಕೋವಲೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಕೋವಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಈಸ್ 6 ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಯರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ 2 more ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನು 2 ಬಾಂಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, these two electrons utilize to make one more bond, and these 2 electrons utilize to make one more bond. Now count the number of electrons on central atom. It is having 12 electrons now, no problem. It is having 12 electrons. It is greater than 8. It is having the possibility to have more than 8 electrons. Central atom, either it should exist with the octet or it should exist with extended octet. Both can possible here. Okay, now this is the exact structure of a SO4 molecule, but we are left with these 2 charges now, these 2 charges. Then here the doubt rises that which of the oxygen atom should get this negative charge, which of the atom should get a negative charge. ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬರ್ತದ, ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬರ್ತದ, ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ or ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್? Which of the oxygen atom should get a negative charge in order to solve this problem? Okay, what is the concept of a formal charge? Formal charge means it is the charge present on a particular atom due to the unequal sharing of bonded pair electrons. Here this sulfur and oxygen shares 2 bond pairs. This sulfur and oxygen also shares 2 bond pairs, but another 2 sulfur and oxygen atoms shares only one pairs. Here there is an unequal sharing of electrons takes place now. Because of its unequal sharing of electrons, there is a rise of concept formal charge. There is a necessity of that concept takes place here, formal charge. Then how to calculate the formal charge? That is also having a formula. First we have to represent them. Now we should calculate the formal charge of first oxygen. You can take the first oxygen. How to calculate its formal charge? ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Formal charge of first oxygen. What is the formula? Valence electrons minus lone pair of electrons, bond pair of electrons divided by 2. If you consider the first oxygen atom, how many valence electrons are there in oxygen? It is having 6 valence electrons. 6 minus how many lone pair of electrons are there here? 2 4, because another 2 electrons are utilized for making the bond. That is why this oxygen atom, particularly this oxygen atom, it will have only 4 lone pair of electrons, followed by how many bond pairs are there here? Here we are having 2 bonds. That means how many electrons? 4 electrons. That is divided by 2. Plus 6 minus 6 cancel with each other. So the charge present on the first oxygen atom is 0. it should not possess any type of charge. Like that. The fourth oxygen atom also having the double bond with the sulfur and oxygen. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಜೊತೆ, ಇದರ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕೂಡ 0 ಬರ್ತದೆ. If you are not clear with this, you just calculate it. Okay, how to calculate it? Fc of fourth oxygen, that is how many valence electrons are there for oxygen? It is having 6 electrons minus how many lone pairs are there here? Again we have 4. Again we have 4 bonded pair electrons. We will get 0. The charge present on this particular oxygen is 0. Both the oxygen atoms carries 0 charges now. Then what about next? Formal charge on third oxygen atom. Okay, third oxygen atom. Is it the third oxygen atom here? This. Again, valency of a third oxygen atom, 6 valence electrons are there, minus how many lone pair of electrons are there in this oxygen? It is single bonded oxygen. It will have 6 valence electrons. That means 6 lone pair of electrons are there here. 2, 4, 6 lone pair of electrons. And how many bond pair of electrons are there here? It is making only one bond here. That is why the bond pair of electrons are 2. It is divided by 2. That means it is minus 1. Minus 1. 6 minus 7. It is minus 1. So the charge present on this particular oxygen atom is minus 1. Minus 1 charge. It carries how much charge? Minus 1 charge. Then what about this? What about second carbon atom? It is also a single bonded oxygen between the sulfur. Fc means formal charge on the second oxygen atom, that is, it is also valence electrons present in the oxygen are 6. Number of lone pair of electrons on oxygen also 6. Minus the bond pair is also common. Again, this will also have minus 1 charge. That means in this particular molecule of SO4 minus 2 oxygen atoms which should carries a 0 charge and another 2 oxygen atoms will carries a minus 1 charge. In order to clarify the doubt that which of the oxygen atoms should get the negative charge, either this or this or this or this, in order to clarify this doubt, concept of a formal charge has been introduced. By using that calculations, we easily came to know which of the atom in a molecule should get either positive or negative charge. ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ formal charge on anion is equal to, or anion or cation is equal to its charges anta. Sum of the formal charges of all the atoms, ಒಂದು molecule ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್, ಅಯಾನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಗೆ ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ formal charge on SO4 minus 2 calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ formal charges of first, that is minus 1, formal charge on second oxygen atom also minus 1, formal charge on a third and fourth are 0 and 0. Sum of all these charges is equal to minus 2 na? Minus 2. So the charge carried by the SO4 atom is minus 2. Sum of all the formal charges in a molecule is equal to its charge. Suppose if this molecule is a neutral molecule in nature, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, either positive charge or negative charge, both the charges are absent, then in such cases what happens? The sum of all the formal charges is equal to 0. Sum of formal charges of all the atoms in a molecule, it should equal to 0 ಇರ್ತದೆ. In case of anion or cation, ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜನ್ನು ಕೂಡಿಸಿದರೆ ಆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸು ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0 ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ we will move on to the one more example, that is NO2 minus. This is another example, NO2 minus. First we have to calculate the total number of valence electrons. How to calculate it? How many number of atoms are there here? One nitrogen atom is there, one nitrogen atom, plus how many oxygen atoms are there? Two oxygen atoms are there. How many valence electrons are there on nitrogen? Nitrogen is having 5 valence electrons, plus 2 oxygen atoms are there. How many valence electrons are there in oxygen? 6 valence electrons. In total we have 17 electrons, plus because of the presence of one negative charge, it should add into the total number of valence electrons, such that total number of electrons, that means valence electrons, in this particular NO2 minus atoms will be 18 electrons. NO2 minus molecularly the presence of total number of valence electrons ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 18 electron ಇದೆ. Now we should calculate the lone pair of electrons. How many lone pair of electrons are there here? How to calculate it? We have to subtract the total number of electrons by bond pair of electrons. How many bonds are there? First we have to consider this. 2 bonds are there. 2 bonds means ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 4 electrons ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 4 electrons means how much we left with? We left with only 14 electrons. These are called lone pairs. You must remember, these lone pairs either they can utilized as a lone pairs or they can utilize for the formation of double and triple bond. Okay, in order to attain this stable electronic configuration, e lone pairs either they may utilized as the lone pairs or they may utilized for the formation of double or triple bond. Okay, first we have to substitute or we have to utilize this 14 electrons to satisfy the valency of terminal atoms. By using this lone pair of electrons, we have to satisfy the octet of terminal atoms. The very first ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವೀಗ 14 electrons transfer ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, how many electrons are there now? Here 2, 4, 6 plus 2, 8. Octet of oxygen is satisfied. Okay, next 2, 4, 6, 8 plus 2, 4, 6 plus 2, 8. Octet is satisfied. Again 6 plus 6, 12 electrons have gone, and we left with how many electrons? We left with 2 more electrons, and those 2 electrons are there on the nitrogen atom. Okay, this is how we can distribute the lone pair of electrons. But this particular molecule which carries one charge, that is NO2 minus ಇದೆ, then among these 2 oxygen atom, which of the compound will have negative charge? ಯಾವ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜನ್ನು ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವ ಆಟಮ್? Before going to calculate the formal charge on each atom, first we have to satisfy the valency of nitrogen atom. Nitrogen atom na valency ನಾವು satisfy ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. How to satisfy? What is the covalency of nitrogen? It can have 2 capacities. Either it can form 3 bonds or it can form 4 bonds. Okay, here in order to satisfy the octet configuration of nitrogen, it is having 2 electrons already. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. In total it is having 6 electrons already. It requires how many electrons now? It requires 2 electrons. In such cases, these 2 electrons utilized for the formation of one more bond. ನಾನು ಆವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ either they are ready to exist as lone pairs or they are ready to involved in a bond formation. ಎರಡೂ ಕೇಸಸ್ಗೂ ರೆಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, now this molecule is ready to calculate the formal charge. If you consider this as a first molecule, this is as second molecule. How to calculate the formal charge? Formal charge on first oxygen. Valence electrons of oxygen ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 6 minus how many lone pair of electrons are there in this oxygen? 4 minus how many bond pairs are there? here we have two bonds, each bond carries 2 electrons, in total we are having 4 electrons. Okay, minus 6 plus 6, it is 0. Formal charge present on the first oxygen atom is 0. 0 charge ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. Followed by, if we consider formal charge on second oxygen atom, formal charge on a second oxygen atom, ಆಗೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, again this is also same oxygen atom, valence electrons are 6 minus lone pair of electrons present in this oxygen atom are 6, because it is having a single bond. 2 4 6 lone pair of electrons are there, minus bond pair of electrons are 2 divided by 2, 7 minus 7 plus 6, it is minus 1. That means the formal charge present on this particular atom is equal to minus 1. Again, if you calculate the formal charge on a nitrogen also, you can get 0, because the total charge or the formal charge, sum of the formal charge of this molecule or this ionic molecule is equal to its charge na. Already we have minus 1 charge, that means minus 1 charge ಇದು ಒಂದಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ and remaining atoms should carry 0 charge, ಅವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ 0 charge ಇರುತ್ತೆ. This is minus 1 charge. This is how we can represent the structure of different molecules, by using the concepts of Lewis and Cosel's concept, followed by the concept of formal charge. Okay, next. So the next concept, some of the bond characteristics, that is bond parameters. Here we are going to learn some of the concepts that is regarded with the bonds, nature of the bonds, bond strength, bond length, bond angles, that we are going to discuss under this particular concept. The very first one, it is bond length. What is meant by this word bond length? The name itself indicates that it is the bond length, it is the length of a bond, ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡಿನ ನಡುವಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ, the distance between the average distance between the nuclei of, it is one nuclei A, this is another nuclei B, it is the average distance between the nuclei of two combining atoms. ಎರಡು ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇ average, or in the sense you can take equilibrium distance. It is the equilibrium distance between nuclei of two bonded atoms. ಓಕೆ, ಎರಡು ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆ ಎರಡೂ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೈನ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸು ನಮಗೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್? ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಐದರ್ ಬೈ ಆಂಗ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸಿಂದಾದರೂ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪಿಕೋಮೀಟರಿಂದಾದರೂ represent ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, or we can represent it as a angstrom unit. Then how can we calculate this bond length experimentally? Okay, experimental manner ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? By the methods of X-ray diffraction method, followed by electron diffraction method, electron diffraction method. Okay, by using this X-ray diffraction methods or electron diffraction methods or any other spectroscopic methods, by using spectroscopic methods we can calculate the bond length experimentally. Okay, we can calculate the bond length in an experimental manner by using these methods, X-ray diffraction method or electron diffraction method or any other spectroscopic methods. Okay, next, what are the factors that affects? What are the factors affects the bond length? Factors affects the bond length. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ factors bond length ಅನ್ನು affect ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? The very first one, atomic size of combining atoms. If size of combining atoms ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, size of the combining atoms ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ, size of the combining atoms like this, size of the combining atoms like this. With the increase in the atomic size of the combining atoms, the distance between the two nuclei increase ಆಗ್ತದೆ. With the increase in the atomic size of the combining atoms, distance between the nuclei of both the atoms has increased. Nuclei ನಡುವಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ atomic size of participating atoms, there is an increase in the bond length takes place. Okay, here we conclude that greater the size of combining atoms, greater the size of combining atoms, more will be its bond length, more will be its bond length. Okay, if you take an example of hydrogen molecule, okay, the bond length between this hydrogen molecule is 74 picometer. Okay, we can represent bond length in terms of picometer or angstrom units. The bond length between the hydrogen atom in a hydrogen molecule is 74 picometer. Suppose if you can take a Cl2 molecule, Cl, the average distance between the nuclei of two Cl atoms is 199 picometer. Which factor makes the increase in this bond length? Means the atomic size. With the increase in the atomic size of a chlorine atom with respect to this hydrogen atom, the distance between the nuclei of both the atoms has increased such that the length between the two nuclei also increases. At the same time, the bond length is also increases. With the increase in the atomic sizes of the atoms, distance between the two nuclei has increased, thereby distance between the bond length is also increases. Okay, that means size of the atoms, size of the combining atoms, size of the combining atoms is directly proportional to bond length. Size of the combining atoms is equal to bond length. ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್, ವೇರ್ greater the size of combining atoms, more will be its bond length. Second one, the second point, that is multiplicity of the bonds. What is meant by this multiplicity? Multiplicity means number of bonds. If there is a single bond is there in between any two atoms, means its multiplicity is 1. If there are two bonds are there, then its multiplicity is 2. then there were three bonds are there, means it is having three multiplicity, means with the multiple bonds, with the presence of number of bonds, ಇಲ್ಲಿ one bond ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ two bonds ಆಯಿತು, with three bonds ಆಯಿತು, multiple bonds. Due to the presence of multiple bonds, how it affects the length of a bond? Due to the presence of multiple bonds, with the increase in the multiple bonds, if there is only one bond, the force of attraction between the atoms and these atoms is there, some force of attraction is there now. Suppose if we add one more bond to this, multiplicity has increased, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ one more bond ಅನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಎರಡು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಬೋತ್ ದ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್, force of attraction between the combining atoms increased. With the increase in the force of attraction, ಎರಡೂ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, both the atoms tries to move near, they tries to come closer to each other, with result to that the distance between the two nuclei of combining atoms decreased. I repeat, with the increase of the bonds, with the multiplicity of the bonds, the force of attraction between the combining atoms is going to be increased. With the increase in the force of attraction, what happens? The atoms are tries to come closer. The atoms are try to come closer. Come closer ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ length of the bond, that means the distance between the two nuclei of combining atoms is less. In such cases, how it affects the bond length? It decreases its bond length. That means how the multiplicity of the bonds affects the bond length means with the increase of a bond length, with the increase of multiplicity, bond length is going to be decreased. Okay, next, greater the second point, greater the multiplicity, greater the multiplicity of bonds, greater the multiplicity of bonds, less will be its bond length, less will be its bond length, less will be its bond length. Okay, suppose we can take an example of carbon single bond. In carbon and carbon, they are bounded by single bond, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, 154 picometer ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It is of the order of 154 picometer. Suppose if the carbon atoms are bounded by double bond ಅಂದರೆ multiple bond, multiplicity increase ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. With the increase in the multiplicity, force of attraction increases. Force of attraction increase ಆದಂಗೆ bond length ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That is why it possesses the bond length of 134 picometer. With the increase in the multiplicity, the bond length is going to be decreased. That is why the bond length has decreases from 154 picometer to 134 picometer. Followed by, if the carbon atoms are bounded by triple bonds, again the multiplicity has increased, number of bonds increased. With the number of bonds, with the increase of number of bonds, what happens? The force of attraction between the combining atoms increases. With the increase in the number of bonds, force of attraction between the combining atoms increases. With the increase in the force of attraction, molecules or atoms which comes closer ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಟ್ರಿಪಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ 120 picometer. It is of the order of 120 picometer. Okay, these are the factors which affects the bond length. Okay, here we can write it like this: multiplicity of the bonds, multiplicity of bonds inversely proportional to bond length. ಈ ಥರ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್. ಎಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್, size of the atoms, combining atoms and bond lengths are directly proportional with each other. Okay, this is the first bond parameter, that is bond length. Next, if you want to know about the bond lengths of different compounds or different atoms, that is bond and bond length. Okay, first H2 molecule, or we can write it like this: H2 molecule, the bond length, as I already told, it is having bond length, it is in a picometer. ಪಿಕೋಮೀಟರ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತನ್ನು, ಆರ್ ಆಂಗ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಮ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ picometer. It is having 74 picometer, followed by Cl atom. It is having a Cl atom yesterday 199 picometer it is having. Next HCl, it is having 127 picometer, followed by C and H, they possess 109 picometer, 109 picometer, followed by, with the multiplicity of the bonds, carbon carbon single bond, it is having 154 picometer, carbon carbon double bond is having 134 picometer, followed by the last carbon carbon triple bond, it is having 120 picometer. Okay, here two factors are major responsible for the increase or decrease in the bond length. That is, first thing, it is with the increase of their atomic sizes. The second thing is the multiplicity of the bonds. These two things you must remember. Okay, next. So the next important bond parameter, that is bond strength. That is bond strength. Bond strength or bond energy or bond dissociation energy, ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್. ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆರ್ bond dissociation energy. Bond dissociation energy, or is represented as bond dissociation energy. Okay, what is meant by this word bond strength, bond energy? If there is a bond present in between atoms and core, if we want to break this bond, some amount of energy has required now. In order to break this bond, we have to apply some amount of energy. That energy is nothing but bond energy. It is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of bonds. It is the amount of energy. It is the amount of energy required. It is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of bonds into its atoms in gaseous state. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು, 1 mole ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ 1 mole ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್, ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ 1 mole ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇಂಟು ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಗೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. 1 mole ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಟಮ್ಸನ್ನು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಆರ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೋಸಿಯೇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಡಿಸೋಸಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ energy. Okay, how can we represent this bond energy? We can represent this bond energy by kilojoule per mole. We can represent bond strength by kilojoule per mole. Okay, next, what are the factors that affects this bond strength? Like the factors affecting the bond length, here also some of the factors which affects the bond strength, that means nearly the same factors which affects this also. Okay, let us look into them one by one. The very first one, it is size of combining atoms. Again it is same, size of combining atoms. Nodi, size, bond strength or bond energy, strength of a bond which depends upon size of combining atoms. Suppose if the combining atoms are very small, if the combining atoms like this, if the combining atoms are like this ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಈಗ, with the increase in the atomic size of each atom, the distance between the two nuclei of combining atoms is increased. That means bond length is going to be increased, alva. With the increase in the atomic size of the combining atoms, bond length increase ಆಗ್ತದೆ. With the increase in the bond length, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಾಂಡಿನ ಲೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೋ, strength of the bond is going to be decreased. Okay, when we compare the strength of this bond with this bond, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್? The first one, because here the distance between the nuclei of both the atoms is small, bond length is very less. ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ is more. When we compare the bond strength of this with this, the last one will have very less bond energy because of increase in the atomic size. Because of a large atomic size of the combining atoms, bond length decrease ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, strength of the bond weak ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, next, suppose if you consider ಇದನ್ನು H2 molecule ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದರ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ 435.8 ಕಿಲೋಜೌಲ್ ಪರ್ ಮೋಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ Cl2 ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು 237 ಕಿಲೋಜೌಲ್ ಪರ್ ಮೋಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 237 ಕಿಲೋಜೌಲ್ ಪರ್ ಮೋಲ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಇನ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಸೈಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 74 ಪಿಕೋಮೀಟರ್. 74 ಪಿಕೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, 435.8 kilojoule per mole. But Cl2, when we compare the bond length of H2 with Cl2 has got more bond length na? It is having 199 picometer bond length. With the increase in the bond length, what happens? With the increase in the bond length, the strength of the bond is going to be decreased. Strength of the bond decrease ಆಗ್ತದೆ. With the decrease in the bond length, what happens? With the decrease in the, as the size of the atoms increase ಆದಂಗೆ force of attraction between the atoms decreased. With the decrease in the force of attraction, we can easily break this bond by providing a less amount of energy than this. That is why this Cl atoms or this Cl2 molecule which acquires less amount of energy followed by this hydrogen molecule because of its smaller size and because of its larger atomic size. Okay, next, the first factor is a size of the combining atoms. Okay, size of the combining atoms idre ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? greater the size of the combining atoms, lesser will be the energy required. Lesser will be the energy required to break the bonds. to break the bond. ಅಲ್ವಾ? Greater the size of the combining atoms, combining atom size ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ bond strength weak ಆಗ್ತದೆ. By giving less amount of energy, we can easily break the atoms. Okay, this is the first one. That means atomic size inversely proportional to bond energy. Alva? Or you can write it as bond length antanaru tagobod. Bond length and bond energy both are inversely proportional. Okay, next. Next, with the multiplicity of the bonds. Second concept, again it is multiplicity. Multiplicity of the bonds. Multiplicity of the bonds. How the multiplicity of the bonds affects the bond energy or bond strength. With the increase in the multiplicity of the bonds, ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? With the increase in the multiplicity, here this carbon atom, these two carbon atoms are bounded by single bond, these two are by double bond, and these two are by triple bond, in which here it is having only one bond. The distance or the force of attraction between these two carbon atoms is less. Force of attraction less ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ bond length ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Okay, with the increase of one more bond, with the addition of one more bond, the force of attraction between the combining atoms increased. Force of attraction between the combining atoms increases. Force of attraction increase ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮೋರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. That is why with the increase in the multiplicity of the bonds, bond strength is going to be increased. Okay, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, followed by a more amount of energy is required for the breaking of bonds. Okay, here if we look into this carbon-carbon single bond, it requires around 418 or 400 plus kilojoule per mole energy for the breaking this bond. If we have carbon-carbon double bond, it is nearly have 618 something. Okay, it will have carbon-carbon triple bond, it is around 800 plus. That means with the increase of multiplicity of the bonds, what happens? Force of attraction between the combining atoms increased. With the increase in the combining force of attraction between the combining atoms, more amount of energy is required for the breakage of this bond. Okay, that is why multiplicity of the bonds is directly proportional to bond energy. Multiplicity of the bonds is directly proportional to bond energy or bond strength. As the multiplicity of the bonds increased, bond energy is also increased. Okay, next, the third most important point, that is lone pair of electrons. Lone pair of electrons. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ? If you take an example of carbon followed by nitrogen followed by oxygen followed by Cl. By looking into this example, this carbon atom which do not have lone pair of electrons, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ lone pair of electrons ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, because carbon is being tetravalent in nature, it utilizes its all the electrons for getting a stability. Okay, here nitrogen, it is trivalent in nature. After getting a stability, it is having each nitrogen atom will have two electrons as lone pairs. ಇಲ್ಲಿ lone pairs of electrons ಇದೆ. Followed by this oxygen atom, it is having a 6 electrons in its valence shell. 2, 4, 6. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6 electrons ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ 6 electrons ಇದೆ. Followed by this Cl atom. Cl atom, both are having 7 electrons in their valence shell. 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, how these electrons affects the bond strength? With the increase in the number of lone pair of electrons on the atoms. Number of lone pair of electrons ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ which is electron rich in nature. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಆಗೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ with the increase in the number of electrons, lone pair of electrons on a combining atoms. What happens? There is a repulsive interactions takes place. ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್, repulsive interaction between the combining atoms has increased. Repulsive interactions ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ strength of the bond is going to be weak ಆಗ್ತದೆ. strength of the bond weak ಆದಾಗ we can easily break this bond. Okay, less amount of energy is required by this bond, followed by this bond, followed by this, and followed by this, because this carbon atom which do not have lone pairs, nitrogen will have one lone pair of electrons. Here oxygen we have 3 lone pair of electrons, that means 6 electrons present on each oxygen atom. Repulsions are more, energy requirement is less. Repulsive interactions are even more at this case, and the strength of the bond is weak here. Okay, next, lone pair of electrons, presence of lone pair of electrons on combining atoms is inversely proportional to bond energy. Number of electrons ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತವೋ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, you must remember this concept also. Okay, next, next thing, it is a bond angle. Bond angle. Bond angle. What is meant by this word bond angle? Bond angle, name itself indicates that it is an angle. Okay, it is the average angle between the lines. Okay, it is the average angle between the lines representing the atomic orbitals. It is the average distance between the lines under bonds. It is the average distance or average angle between the lines representing an atomic orbital containing a number of electrons. Okay, ಈ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನು, ಈಚ್ ಲೈನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಈಚ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್, ಇವುಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ average angle. It is the average angle between the lines ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವಪ್ಪ, ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್. It is average angle between the lines representing orbital, representing atomic orbital, containing electrons. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಗಳು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲನ್ನು, ಆ್ಯಾವ್ರೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯೂಶಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದನ್ನು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ methane molecule, bond angle in CH4 methane molecule. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, ಆವರೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಆವರೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ 109 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ 28 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ವ. ದ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ the CH4 molecule is 109 degree 28 minutes, followed by bond angle in case of in case of water molecule. Bond angle in H2O, it is of the order of 104.5 degree irtade, 104.5 degree, followed by bond angle in case of ammonia molecule. Bond angle in NH3 molecule is 107 degree it is. Okay, like that. One more thing it is that BF3 in case of boron trifluoride, the bond angle is 120 degree bond angle in boron trifluoride. Okay, now what is mean by bond angle? It is the average angle between the lines representing the atomic orbitals containing electrons. That angle in case of CH4 is 109 degree 28 minutes. In case of water molecule it is 104.5 degree. In case of ammonia molecule it is 107 degree, and in case of BF3 molecule it uses to 120 degree. Okay, this is regarding the bond angle concept. Okay, next. These are the different bond parameters that we have used in this chapter, that is bond length, bond strength and bond angle. You must know about the relationship between bond length and bond angle and bond strength. If the bond length has increased, how it affects the bond strength. Then if the bond angle is 120, if the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes, what is the shape of the molecules? Okay, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆದರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆದರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ we had gone through the concepts of Cosel's and Lewis concept, followed by different bond parameters, that is bond length, bond angle and bond strength. Now we will move on to the limitations of Cosel's and Lewis. Limitations of Cosel and Lewis covalent bonds. Covalent bonding. Limitations of covalent. This rule, that means Cosel and Lewis concept, it is also not a universal rule. ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ limitations ಇದೆ. ಏನೇನು limitations ನೋಡೋಣ. The very first limitations, which does not account for the shape of molecules, which does not account for the shape of the molecule. Shape of the molecule ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಇದು, ವಿಚ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬರೆದ್ವಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಥರ ಬರೆದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರನ್ನು, C ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ O, C ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ O, ಈ ಥರ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಎಸ್, ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ it is the structure of the molecule, not the shape of the molecule. Here we can randomly arrange the atoms. Okay, structure of the atoms ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಾಂಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ rule or according to Cosel and Lewis, they do not explains the actual shape of the molecules, actual bond angles, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ಲು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲನ್ನು ಇವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ which this cannot explains about the formation of covalent bond. ಹೀಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons, or else this covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals. ಒಂದು ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಲು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲನ್ನು ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ Cosel and Lewis concept. According to them, they could not explain the formation of covalent bond. Third one, he could not differentiate the bond strengths and bond angles. If you take an example of H2 molecule ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೀವು. H2 molecule ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದಪ್ಪ? ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ is 74 picometer and bond energy or bond strength ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದ? 435.7 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೌಲ್ ಇರ್ತದ. ಕಿಲೋ ಜೌಲ್ ಪರ್ ಮೋಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇವುಗಳದ್ದು ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. This fluorine atom or this fluorine molecule is also formed by sharing a single covalent bond. ಇವುಗಳ ನಡುವೆನೂ covalent bond ಇದೆ. But when we compare this with the bond length, it is of the order of 155 picometer ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದರ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 155 picometer ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ its bond energy ಬಂದು bond energy it is 144 kilojoule per mole ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Now what is the difference between these two? Here both the atoms are smaller in nature, then here also single covalent bond is there, here also single covalent bond is there, but both are differed by their bond length and bond strength. Okay, and this theory which does not account for this concept. Okay, ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ even though both are sharing a same covalent bond, both are bonded by a single covalent bond, they differed by their bond length and bond energy. Okay, this concept was unable to explain by this Cosel and Lewis concept. Okay, these are the 3 important limitations of Cosel and Lewis concept of covalent bonding, and these limitations are overcome by one more concept, that is next concept of covalent bonding, that is valence bond theory. That is valence bond theory. In this theory we are going to understand the limitations of Cosel and Lewis concept. Okay, in the next class we will move on to the valence bond theory. Okay.